Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. This is the fourth weekend of deer season here in California in the D7 deer zone, and I'm here again hunting by myself. I actually haven't been here before, so this is totally unknown territory to me. I am at about 7,400 feet high, and I have Friday evening all the way through Monday afternoon, so this will be a long weekend, and I will have a lot of intense hiking involved because I'm gonna do everything I possibly can. This is just beautiful country, amazing views, amazing mountains, and I know the deer are here. There's really no one here. This is the land where no one is going, at least not this weekend. It looks like it's just me. So hopefully I'll go home with something, but if not, I know this will still be a truly amazing experience. So come follow me on this journey and see what happens. I am so happy right now. I have found the spot for deer hunting for this area. Last weekend I was here and I was actually on the opposite side of the mountain. You can probably see it right now. Between here and the other side there are these huge canyons, and that's where the deer are. As right now I'm in heaven. So take a look behind me. It's absolutely amazing. I'll show you the campsite in just a minute, and if you see that big rock, that big white one, we were looking at it last week. I was straight across, and now I'm under it pretty much. And I'm just so excited. Something might happen this weekend. Found a water source. I found this creek. In some parts it is very deep, but some areas it looks like I can actually cross it. I might end up doing is actually climb up here, and I could actually climb up there. It looks like it's not too hard, and then just sit up there, because on the other side I know I'm gonna have a huge area. I can just glass and just sit and wait, and the deer might. This is the most intense hiking I have done in the past 30 years. I did some of this in Hungary in my teenage years, not a whole lot, but nothing since then, and that was about 30 years ago, and this was pretty intense. I mean, it's almost like rock climbing, like holding onto edges of rocks, and it's pretty awesome though. I mean, I didn't know I could do it. Now I know I can. And the conditions were ideal, almost perfect, because it was raining last night, and didn't really rain this morning. There was a little sprinkling here and there, but the rain meant that all the pine needles were now soft, so I wasn't loud, and they weren't slipping because you have all these rocks, and they're actually really good. You have some good hiking boots. You could just climb up like Spider-Man. That's what I was doing. But if you have pine needles on it, you could slip, but because they were slightly damp, they actually stuck, so that made it better. And the weather was just a little bit cold, and then just cool, and then it changed to warm, so it was really nice. I was sitting on this huge rock, just looking down on a ravine, and not really glassing or anything, but just looking around, thinking about things, and all of a sudden I see this deer. It was hopping around. It was pretty close, but it was going in and out of bushes. So right away I picked up my binoculars, trying to see it. And I couldn't even really locate it more than a couple of seconds. So even if I picked up my gun, I know I couldn't have shot it. But I looked, and I am pretty sure it was a legal buck. There was something on his head. I couldn't even have enough time to look. Could have been just a spike, but most likely it was at least a fork. And it was exciting. I mean, I went after it because it was going down on that ravine, and I followed it down, and I could never find it anymore. It just jumped into a bush and it just completely disappeared. But I ended up following it more and more, and that's how I ended up at the San Joaquin River. That's kind of crazy because I hiked a lot, but that was exciting because up until now I haven't even seen a deer, and I was kind of foolishly thinking like, oh, if there's one, there will be more. But that was the only one, and I didn't really beat up myself over it too much. I was just thinking it's not my buck. There will be another one, if not this weekend, then next. But that kind of fired me up a little bit, thinking, okay, I'm at the right place, so let's keep going. And I have been on foot since about 6:15 a.m. and I hardly stopped here and there, so that's about 8 hours almost. Basically what I did was I came down to that creek and I climbed down straight from my campsite. That was actually not too far, and then I climbed straight up. It was pretty steep, and then I just found these gorgeous areas. I kind of sat around a little bit in each place, but I just couldn't sit there for like an hour or two just to keep looking, because just something made me keep going, go deeper, further, go higher, go lower. I just couldn't really stop, so I kept going. This is super steep and very, very difficult, but I could do it. Looks like it. And then I just have to go up, straight up, very steep. That there is the creek I need to climb down to, and then all I have to do is climb that up and then over that hill is my campsite. This is pretty steep. I climbed this morning, and I already came down from up there. This day was awesome. Like I said earlier, I planned on coming back by 6:30, so this way I'm out there as long as I can. But I actually got back by 5 because it started raining a little bit, but I heard all this thunder and I saw lightning, and I had to leave my dog behind, obviously, and he was not happy about it. And I know that he's really scared. And it was already for like an hour off and on as I was coming back. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna come home to my campsite, and that's it. And I was pretty tired. I'm glad I have this hiking or hunting app because I recorded my route, so it was great because I could just point my phone in that direction, so I knew where I was going. Coming back, I could just come on the exact route I took, so it kind of took out all that thinking and calculating of where to go, and taking out all the unnecessary turns and U-turns and everything. So it took me 3.5 hours to get back from I think it recorded it from the San Joaquin River. Of course, I stopped here and there, but on the way back, I would stop for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. I was getting more and more tired, so I had to take a couple of minutes rest around 6:15ish, and I got back at 5, and I didn't really stay put at all. I know I should have, but the most time I spent was up on a cliff when I saw that buck, and that was maybe half an hour at the most, and then at the San Joaquin River, about a half an hour. And other than that, I was climbing and hiking and just, it was crazy. And like I mentioned earlier, I have never hiked this intensely. It was amazing. I mean, you're kind of testing your willpower and kind of like your limits. I mean, now I know this is not my limit. I could do more, but I feel really great. He's actually pretty upset that I left him alone today. Osito. Hi, baby. Hi. I know. I didn't take you with me. But you're not a hunting dog. My Osho. Don't cry. Don't cry, baby. I had two occasions where I thought I might have sprained my ankle. The first one wasn't even in a dangerous area, and I just kind of felt my ankle kind of like go out under me, and then I just like sat down, and it hurt, and I sat there, and I was like, oh my God, don't tell me it's sprained. Don't let it be sprained, because I already was hiking like 3 hours. And I just sat there, and I'm like, you know what, just walk it off. And I know that's the worst thing you could do, but what else can I do? So I walked it off, and it was actually fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Little sore in the ankle, but it's fine. And then on the other foot happened. It didn't even seem that bad, but I was like, oh my God, close call. And I kept going, and that ankle is kind of bothering me a little bit because I already had something like this happen about 9 months ago, and it hurt a lot. So, but I'm sure I'll be okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little bit hurt. But so I guess I got lucky. I mean, I was super careful, but you just never know. You could step on a rock, and that rock moves, or you slide and lose your balance. I mean, my backpack was pretty heavy, and carrying that gun, that is a heavy gun. I'm gonna be going out to the same areas, just not that far. And I'm gonna be sitting around most of the time this time, and hopefully I will see some things. And that's all I have to say. We're just chilling here. I already put on my pajamas. I'm drying out my clothes. I'm gonna read my book and just relax. I know my body was kind of put through a lot, and I need a good night's sleep and just kind of relax my muscles. I feel really good, but I'm sure I'm gonna be sore and hurting tomorrow. So that's all I have to say. Good night.